Hello and welcome back to Seagulls Social, Season 2, Episode 40. I'm of course joined with Ryan and the season is over. Let me quickly say this before I go into more of that with you, Ryan. Highest finish, most wins, fewest defeats, most goals, fewest goals conceded, most away wins, and back-to-back successive home wins to Man United and West Ham. 7 goals scored. Thanks Andy Nelly for the stats. Ryan, what a fucking brilliant way to end the season.
Record-breaking 9th place finish, record-breaking 51 points, record-breaking finish above Crystal Palace, record-breaking best away days, record-breaking 4-0 win over Manchester United, record-breakingly brilliant, Ben.
Record-breakingly brilliant, and also even more record-breakingly brilliant when we talk about Palace. We finished 9th, they've never finished 9th, and we've done that in 5 seasons. They've been in the Premier League for like the past 9 seasons.
Wow.
They never finished 9th, and they've never hit 50 points either, and we've obviously hit 50 points. Wow. The most they got is 49 points. So we've done that in 5 seasons, and they haven't even done that in the 9 seasons or whatever they've been in the Prem. So, cheers, Palace. So you can say mind the gap, and we've never finished above you, but it didn't take us that long to beat your record. Yeah.
This is the thing, right? People, all the Palace fans are going to be like, "Oh, it's so cringe" or whatever. But they've been celebrating it literally like every year. So, you know, if the one time we're going to do it, they can't call us cringe. They've been doing it for the last 5. So, yes, what a day, mate. What a day it was. I mean, I've got to be honest, right? I'll start off the game if you want, because I thought first half, we weren't at it at all. And I put a tweet on saying that we weren't performing well.
You started well, though. I feel we
had the first sort of 10, 15 minutes. But then
that Caicedo chance, that was probably the peak of that kind of
Caicedo had a decent effort. Other than that, though, we didn't do too much. I mean, we had little parts where we played such lovely football, a bit like how we did against Man United. I did feel like we missed Trossard probably in that first half. I don't know what's going on with him,
seeing him
where
missing.
he is. I don't know.
Please don't leave, Leo. Please.
Don't go.
If you're obviously watching this, which you are, please don't.
Which is probably the negative of the day, but hopefully not. But anyway, we won't go to negatives yet, because first half was good. First half was meh. Second half was good. We came back into it completely, because I thought first half Declan Rice had us on toast for a bit of it. I thought he really controlled the game, and it was really weird to see. Obviously, Maupay came on for Bissouma at half time, which was a big call, because particularly when you got one of the best midfielders in the league playing against you. Who can literally take apart most midfields on his best days. To take off our best midfielder to bring on a striker was, a striker off form as well, was a big call from Graham Potter. But obviously, before we get onto it, I'll talk a bit. You can talk a bit about Antonio's goal, because I believe there was a foul. I didn't see it, but did you see it?
I didn't see it, like classic Arsene Wenger, that is. Well, I don't know if it was. It was pretty soft, isn't it? And it's just typical Brighton. We say it a lot, but. I don't think he had scored many since New Year's Day. I think that was only his 2nd goal since New Year's Day. It's just typical that obviously he does it against us, but we won the game anyway.
Good goal, to be fair.
Oh, mate, what a rocket. And he's a rare breed. He's one of them really, really strong strikers. And I mean, like, I don't think he pushes Dunk. Dunk's kind of off balance, and maybe he gets like a slight push, but nothing to warrant a foul, in my opinion. Like, if that was given against us, if we scored, I'd be like, there's really not much in it. He's just a strong striker and got the better of Dunk, and then obviously rivals it in the top bins, top left corner.
I want to know how much power he got behind that shot. How fast was that ball travelling? Absolutely, it just seemed to flash. It was a mad strike, to be fair.
On that kind of foul, and obviously Dunk was fouled. I saw someone tweet at half time. I think they were like, "Can we talk about Lewis Dunk?" I think they're saying that he might be past it, but no way is he past it, is it? Surely.
No. I don't get people that slate Dunk, to be honest. I see a lot of people on Twitter particularly seem to slate
BHAFC.
And someone else as well. I can't remember who it is. To be honest, there's no point in me entertaining it, because it's probably just for bites. But I don't get why people
that's the thing.
Say it. Maybe it's just bites. I don't know. Harvey loves a good bite, doesn't he, on Twitter? So I mean, he said that Lamptey was bad. He said that Cucurella. No, not Cucurella. Who has he said that was bad? Lallana he didn't like for ages.
He doesn't like
Lamptey, doesn't like. So I think he just does a good bites. But Dunk. I don't know. I can't see how people say that, to be honest. I thought he had a pretty decent game, really. Webster was a bit shaky in parts, but then I think to expect him when his first start. I thought he grew into the game though, and him and Dunk have. They have such a good partnership over the last few years.
It's good to see him back.
It was good to see them back next to each other, because I said this to not just my dad next to me. I think it was a couple of people around me, and we were saying that the Webster that came in 2019 was a bit shaky, gave the ball away a lot. Tried to play it out from the back, but sometimes got caught out and gave away goals. And even in his own admission, I think he said it was a bit of a shock to life in the Premier League.
Yeah.
But to the Webster we've got now, I mean, obviously he gets injured a fair bit. He's had his bad luck along the way, but he's really improved as a player, isn't he?
Oh, massively. Yeah, I think yeah, it is weird because obviously people kind of thought he was kind of finished, and the only issue with him is his injury record, isn't it? He does keep getting these injuries.
Yeah.
Whether if he can have a full season without injuries next year, that will be quality. There'll be a lot right. Yeah, there'll be a lot riding on that. I doubt he will, but just simply because ever since we've had him, it's always like every 3 months or so, every two and a bit months, he always seems to have something wrong. But yeah, for his sake and obviously for Brighton's sake, I really hope he doesn't, because he's one of the best defenders in the league on his day. I mean,
on his day,
it's a bit of a stupid statement, but I don't think it is.
Well, who was it that said it? Carragher said he was one of the best ball players in the back
ball playing,
England, or the best ball playing in the back of England, which I probably would agree with. His ability to take the ball out from the back is brilliant.
Because you don't like John Stones, do you? Because a lot of people would say it's probably John Stones. You don't really like Johnny Stones.
But then again, he gets picked by Pep, so he can't be that bad. I just don't.
I think Stones is good. He is good.
He's a decent player. I wouldn't complain if he was in our team now. But I think that City fans didn't even rate him about a year and a half ago, and all of a sudden, since the Euros, everyone likes him again. That seems
he's quite a likable character. Obviously, this isn't a City podcast, but he seems like a really likable character to have.
Yeah, he seems
at your club, especially in the dressing room.
Yeah, to be fair, he does. To be fair.
But speaking of likable characters, though, so we mentioned that the half-time substitution, Bissouma comes off. Is that a really anticlimactic? Yeah, that's the word, isn't it? Anticlimactic. Yeah, is that a really anticlimactic? Oh, yeah. Is that a really anticlimactic farewell for Bissouma? Jesus Christ, he's done so much for us, and I've completely bottled his farewell there. Do you reckon that was his farewell? Really anticlimactic?
Anticlimactic. Yeah, I don't know, because he came in. Obviously we did the lap of honour after the game.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, was a bit anticlimactic. I thought I was a bit bored. Because I normally like it, because when we won we didn't win actually, did we? But when we got promoted, it was it was great because everyone's buzzing. Yes, we've had a fantastic season, very, very successful season. But I suppose we haven't won anything or sort of achieved Europe or something. Then you'd have pitch invasions or something. So last year's
one was special though, wasn't it? Because it was Bruno's farewell, and also City lifted the trophy.
Season, that was about 3 years ago.
Oh my god, my brain.
Yeah, last season was when we beat Man City.
Hell.
Hey, we're in 2022 now.
I've completely disregarded everything that happened in COVID just then.
Oh my
COVID god,
mate, that was COVID brain right there.
I'm not even hungover as well. I can't. I am.
Mate, we might have monkeypox brain or something.
I went to the Littlehampton game. I went to the Littlehampton Wembley game.
Oh yes.
While I wasn't at the Amex.
Oh yes.
Honestly,
not the best day out in the end, I suppose. But I suppose
until kick-off, it was unbelievable. Until the referee blew the whistle to start the game at Wembley, it was great. But yeah, they ended up.
Goalie had a mare, didn't he? I don't know. I don't know much about Littlehampton's team, but Goalie looked like he had a bit of a mare.
Well, who was it? So they were called Newport Pagham or something like that. They scored an absolute worldie. And then you just that way when that goes in, you're just thinking, it's their day, really. I think Littlehampton were actually favourites on Sky Bet.
Yeah, they were. They were favourites.
Yeah, and I kept seeing Brighton fans on the. To be fair, I saw some of our listeners actually. So shout out to you boys. When I was on the way up there, and then on the way back down, we met some Brighton fans because they were coming back from the game, and they kept saying, "Oh, sorry for your loss." I was like, "Mate, honestly, I don't care. I'm a Brighton fan." And they just kept coming up to me, being like, "Oh, yeah, you must be gutted because you've lost in the final." I was like, "Honestly, mate, I'm a Brighton fan. I'm buzzing that we've won." But anyway, what were we talking about? Not being hungover.
And Bissouma. So I was saying he came on the pitch. He doesn't really do his dance as much anymore. He did a little bit, didn't he, in front of the North Stand, but he didn't really he used to come out and really go for it. We could be reading too much into that because you never know, speculation. I'm 50-50 on him whether he'll stay or go. I think if obviously
he won't be going Villa now, will he? Because they've just got that Kamara guy on free.
Kamara.
Newcastle maybe, United. I don't know whether.
Yeah,
really...
it depends. If someone comes in with money, I think he'll go. This is very what's his name, Michael Owen. I just realised if someone buys him, he'll go. If they don't, he won't.
He'll go. It's a bit less Michael Owen because it would have to be a good amount of money.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think if obviously the bids don't come in that sort of reach the valuation, I wouldn't be surprised to see him sign a new deal because I don't think he would want to go out on a free. I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know. I'd probably say I think would be probably more happy to leave on a free. I mean, look at Mbappe. signing on bonus, and you get massive signing on bonuses, and you get even more wages when you leave on a free, don't you?
Yeah.
Like Rudiger signing for Madrid for 450k a week or something like that. It's nuts.
Yeah, that's mad.
Yeah, no, I still think Bissouma will be out this summer. It just the destination where he was probably most favourite to go is no longer the place. So whether it be Newcastle, if you gave me the choice between Villa and Newcastle, I would have picked Newcastle for him, because I feel like his career would benefit so much more playing for them. I feel like Villa would have been such a sideways step for him. It would have been a bit strange. I know they're going to pump loads more money just because they want to reach Europe, don't they? But I think Newcastle would be good for him. The fans would love him, and obviously they're going to be challenging for titles in the next few years, and hopefully he would be part of that if he did leave. But
it's
so
all
I can't really
isn't
see
it?
anywhere else.
That's the thing. Like I think I put a thing on about Cucurella, saying I really hope that isn't also his last game for us.
Oh yeah, of course.
I think, obviously, Grossman and Welbeck, I think, will renew now. I have that in my head. Obviously, Welbeck come on after the game and said, I'll see you next season. Everyone was like, hey! But, yeah, I think Cucurella, I hope he doesn't. I just think with the athletic guy putting on that they're confident or it's likely or something like that along them lines. And he was the Man City correspondent.
The City are, yeah.
And when I saw that, I was like, for God's sake. And that's what makes me think he could be off the City. But I suppose it depends on money again. He won't sell for a cheap price.
It was interesting though, because I was watching the City game as well, and because we ended up going to Box Park after the Littlehampton game, and Zinchenko came on I think at half time or something like that, and he had a really, really good game. And I've never seen him play that well, but I don't know if it's a coincidence that the Cucurella links have happened, and he thought, well, I'll really step up my game. But he was the difference for City yesterday. Obviously, Gundogan and De Bruyne were class as well.
Mate, Gundogan's different.
Yeah, he was class.
He's just so good.
But maybe there is some truth behind it. And if Zinchenko's putting in a decent performance like that, it might be because he's worried about losing his place. I
do fear for it. I've got to be honest. I do fear for it, and I put it on my Twitter.
How can you say no to City if they come in with like a 50 mil bid? Or I see some Brighton fans say 70 million, but you've got to be realistic 60, here. I think. He's had one season in the Premier League, and yes, it's been good. He didn't get in the Spain squad. They might be looking at that and say why not? Why hasn't he been picked again? But yeah, maybe 50, 60 mil would be good.
I think 50, 60 personally. I don't think 30 is fair at all. But yeah, what I was going to say about him anyway, I put a tweet on about him after the game, to which seemed to rattle sort of the older generation of fans on Brighton Twitter. Maybe they read it wrong. They're saying, you're speculating, haven't seen this anywhere, don't know why you're commenting on this. And it's like when I put a tweet on about something, I'm stirring the pot, whereas if anyone else does it, it's fine, which is just ridiculous.
We don't know where we got up to. It's been like 15 minutes since we literally just left off. I think we were talking about Cucurella not getting called up to Spain. Imagine if we're really wrong, we're talking about something completely different.
I feel like I was talking about him leaving. No, so
yeah. Then it was.
And then I said and I said about the fact that I probably I somehow annoyed people about saying that I hope it was his last game for us. I don't know how I managed to do that, but yeah, that was what I did.
Yeah,
and then,
that's strange.
Yeah, and then here we are again. So yeah,
second half.
Basically,
there's another half of football we can talk about.
Yeah, we did actually play a whole game, believe it or not.
We actually did.
To be honest with you. When we do these podcasts, right, can you please, like, if you're a long-term subscriber, you'll know, right, this ain't easy. Put that meme in, right? This ain't easy. We go through hell and back half the time with these podcasts for the luck we get. So, anyway, Ben, you take it away. Second half, let's go.
Shout out to the platform we use, though. Actually, not shout out. Sometimes you really screw us over. Better than Zoom, though. Anyway.
It is better than Zoom.
Veltman scored his first goal of the season straight away. What's it, like 55 minutes maybe? Might be wrong. But, again, great build-up play. Possible at its finest. I think the build-up play was on the left-hand side. Let me silence my phone again. Can you mute Mike as well, mate? Because your laptop's taken off.
Yeah.
Although it's just me and you talking, so it's just going to be me talking to a muted Ryan right now. But, yes, obviously, great build-up play down the left-hand side. Once again, potable. Solly marches in the box. I think Pascal Gross crossed it into Solly, and then Solly passed it to Veltman. Who gets his first goal of the season, mate. And Fabianski, he made a bit of a mistake, but how much has Veltman deserved that goal from this season? Most underrated player for the club this year, sure.
He was fantastic again. Like he has a little skill that he loves to do a lot, and I love it. He does a little step over and then backtracks and then comes back again, or has a little touch where he sort of takes it to the outside of his right foot, and it's so sort of basic and simple. It's like 1-star skills on FIFA, but it works every time, and it's great to watch because I love him. I love Veltman. he's such a pro, isn't he? You know, I don't think
the images,
can...
the images from him celebrating, you could just see it meant so much
Yeah,
when he finally got his goal.
He loves it. I thought it was his first goal for us. I forgot that he scored against Palace actually last season.
That's right, yeah, that volley, wasn't it?
I totally
the game we don't speak about.
The game we don't speak about. I completely, it was out of my memory, to be honest. It was just completely erased. But no, what a man, what a moment. I'm happy for him. You know, it was such a jammy sort of way it went in, because it went under the goalkeeper. It was sort of under his body, sort of thing. But
it's the least he's deserved, though. The least he's deserved. And an assist for Solly March as well. So shout out Solly. He played pretty well again. I think, every player pretty much played well. You could say like 8 and above.
In fact, actually, Ben, before we start praising individuals, actually, I'm going to say we did say about Maupay coming on for Bissouma as to how big a move, like how bold it was. But I thought Maupay was fantastic yesterday. I thought he was genuinely the best performance I've seen him play, at least one of them,
really?
in a long time. I just thought the way he held the ball up, but also he seemed to take players on a little bit. He just had the confidence,
which is unheard
of. Winding up, and he was winding up West Ham fans.
Yeah,
as well.
Yeah.
And he was right on it. He
was
doing that, and he was doing this as well, and sort of a bit of this. It's just great. Which I was a bit scared when he was doing it, because they had a free kick literally pretty much in goal scoring sort of range. So I was a bit like, oh god. But no, to be fair, like Maupay he changed the game when he came on. I thought, instantly, as soon as he come on, it was bold to take Bissouma off with
bold from Potter for sure.
And it was a potable masterclass again, bringing on a Maupay that's been out of form for so long, and changed the game. And since he came on, Veltman scored, followed up by a fantastic finish from Pascal Gross, who is
that goal was quality.
He's the GOAT. He's too good. He's too good.
At the beginning the end of last week, when we thought he was going to be heading off to Werder Bremen because it was 90-minute Germany, they reported that he was in talks to move to the Bundesliga 2 side, Werder Bremen, but they're getting promoted. Which again, even if that was true, that'd just be such a low level for him. Like, he should be at least like European places Bundesliga if he went back there for sure. Like, he was so good again yesterday. And he got a goal that he really, really deserves. But even the build-up play for that was like one-touch football around the box. West Ham could not get the ball for love nor money. And Pascal Gross had like an unbalanced turn on his weaker foot. Rockets in the top left corner where Michael Antonio scored it.
I think it was a bit of a mixture between poor goalkeeping, and I think it just took him by surprise because it was such a great effort. I think he took the shot so early.
No one expected
on his left side.
Pascal Gross to ever do that.
No, and he sort of just turned and smacked it, and it took me by surprise. I was so shocked to see it hit the back of the net. I was just like, but no, it was another. It just felt like that second half. It was just meant to be. We were so good. We were sort of getting a bit of luck as well. We rode that. We made West Ham look really average second half, I thought. They didn't really do a lot, to be honest. And for a side that's chasing Europa League, you'd expect him to come out with a bit of fight, but. I don't know if they were poor, if we just minimalised them again. But then again, I say this every week now. I don't know if they were poor or if we just minimalised them, which must mean we're pretty good. And it's just a shame we went through that such sticky patch between sort of February, March time.
I know.
Because we could be so good.
Well, even before that, when it was that 11 game
we had a bit
run
of
without a win. Was it like November to January or something like that, or
December?
We had
a bit of a stale once, something like that.
God, yeah. If we just got a few more points from those 11 games, or even, again, like I'll say, like obviously we've beaten West Ham, we beat Man United at home. If we can carry on this home form into next season and continue the away format we had this season, mate, there's no reason why we can't push for top 6. I know that sounds crazy, but if you looked at the points in it and just 51. A few more results, just a few more results at home, we could easily have been in those places.
And you look at the results as well, like, and I'm looking at ifs here, which is, if you're a rival fan, people are going to be like, you can't look at ifs, you look at what happened. Fine, but when it's games like sort of Leeds at home where easily could have won that on another day. Norwich at home easily could have won that on another day. Now these are points here. As well. Newcastle, even the was it Chelsea game? I think we could have taken something. There was a few games in there where we really could have taken something.
Palace again at home.
Arsenal at home. There's so many chances here. These are all 3 points that we're talking about, and all of these games pretty much we drew. And the difference between 1 to 3 points. I mean,
I'll have a look at it now.
Had a taster of that as well. 1 point makes a big difference. Our downfall simply came at home this season, because away from home, we'd be saying we've had the best season ever. at home we've been a bit hit and miss. When we've been low, we've been really low, and been high, we've been really high. But I feel like the last couple of weeks, maybe even couple of months, has been my personal favourite moments as a Brighton fan. I'm saying since the Championship. And which is funny because at the beginning of the season I was a bit like, I'm not really feeling it at the moment.
Yeah.
And I sort of lost my love for the football a bit, and maybe that came because of other reasons which I ain't going into now. But I think that now is purely looking on the football pitch. The best moments I think that I've had as a Brighton fan, I've just been loving it, and I think that a lot of the fans sort of agree in that the atmosphere at the Amex is a lot better. The way we celebrated the wins against Manchester United, against West Ham, were very similar to sort of the scenes we used to see in the Championship. And it feels.
I hate using the word because we always say the word.
Togetherness.
The togetherness. Yeah, I was just about to say that. It's our classic buzzword for Brighton. But yeah, you can feel that again around the club, and obviously that goes hand in hand with having a really, really good season. But yeah, it's so nice to see, and it does remind you of the season where we did come up from the Championship.
Yeah.
Even though we're finishing 9th, and it's not exactly winning the Championship, because if you're winning the Championship, we'll come in second. You're winning loads more games, but
I think
it just feels so much better, doesn't it?
Fans can see where we can go, and this is what I was saying to my dad yesterday, because he was saying, Caicedo is going to be watched. Bissouma could go, Cucurella could go. All these players could go. They're all pretty much our whole squad's being watched because they're all talented in their own rights. Like even McAllister wasn't easy to take off Boca Juniors, and I don't know. I think that hopefully, if there's any sort of morale in the club, which it seems to be at the minute, these players will be looking at each other like, we are that good, but we are being watched. But where can we go as a team? Where can this team go? Not just individuals. If you've got all these players that are that good, where can they go? When they're 28 sort of age. Who knows? I mean, the sky really is the limit. I think.
Even next season, if they all stay, imagine if we get scenes of Cucurella and Bissouma stay because they are vital. But again, look at the table. We were 5 points off of West Ham, so obviously a better goal difference. So let's say if we won 2 of those home games, we could have got Europa Conference League. Yeah,
we could have got Europa Conference League. Yeah,
it's one of them. So it's fine margins. But again, I know I said it last week, and people kind of questioned when I said Everton could be a lot better. Maybe they won't finish above us, but again, and we mentioned it already, Villa have already made a big statement in the transfer market already. They will be better next year. Leicester will be better next year. Newcastle, who I failed to mention somehow, will obviously be better next year. So it's going to be an interesting one next season. But again,
it feels like the big clubs are coming big again. Your Villas, Newcastles, Leeds even could try and bounce back a bit with a bit of money because they are a big club.
It's just the summer's vital. We really cannot become that new club like the Southampton were a few years ago of the selling club or the feeder club to the bigger teams of the top 6.
That's the trouble as well. And the clubs that are coming up, if you've got Forest coming up as well, it's another big club in the Premier League.
I hope they do. I really can't be. Huddersfield. I really don't want Huddersfield.
I don't want Huddersfield.
Please.
I want to go Forest away. It's so easy. I mean, at the minute,
for you.
I'm 170 miles away from Nottingham at the minute. But I just mean, I just would like to see another big club, and I don't want to sound like those people because I used to take the mick out of those people that said it's good for Leeds to be in the Premier League. It's good, but I know we're Brighton, and we're not part of that conversation.
No, of course not.
But in a way, it is good because seeing Burnley get relegated, and I do think Burnley will struggle to come back up at all.
The financials are pretty finished.
That's if they don't get pitted all the way back down to the League One, to be honest, because they do look in trouble. I just think it's good because the away days as well are more fun when you've got a bit more of an atmosphere to be there at. I just think I think we're in the conversation of good clubs in the league now. Yeah,
we do get spoken about so well. Like a lot of the pundits are always saying like how well the clubs run, and again, even Match of the Day when I was watching it, it's like Ian Wright was saying, it's such a well-run club. It's like without a clinical striker, we finished 9th, and then they were posing the question like, what if we actually had a clinical striker? Where would we have finished? You could easily argue again, like those 5 points off of Europa Conference League. It could have been a European season.
But in the last few games, you wouldn't believe that we're looking for a striker.
Yeah,
would you? I mean,
if we had Danny Welbeck fit for the whole season, he's been unbelievable. Imagine if we've had that Danny Welbeck the whole season.
We said this last May, didn't we? We said this. It was literally last May. We said about Welbeck because he went on a little hot run, didn't he, around April, May time?
Yeah,
and he scored. He scored one against Leeds. He scored against West Ham as well. There was a few goals at the end of the season which he just sort of came up with. He seems to be doing that again this season. It's such a shame that he has those sort of 3 or 4 months of just being out the squad, because I just think he's so good. And we can actually talk about Welbeck now, because he's got a fantastic header, by the way. That third goal was an underrated header. It reminded me of that game at Leicester at the beginning of the season.
Was that our first goal from a corner? Oh no, since then, surely not. Since the Leicester game, it feels like it.
No, I don't think it is. I can't think off the top of my head, but I feel like we had
Everton away, Dan Burn. That was from a corner.
A bit of a flick on, but it was a corner. Yeah.
I can't remember otherwise. We don't really... I heard a really interesting stat from my cousin yesterday. And now, actually, I'll ask you the question. What percentage of corners go in?
3%.
So it's 1% apparently.
Is it? It was 3% last time I looked.
Was it? Yeah. Well, maybe my cousin's wrong. Maybe it is 3%. But yeah,
I don't know. I could be wrong too.
I was surprised, and I was like, actually, no, that makes sense, because imagine all the corners we see in every single football match.
Yeah, you think every club has like 150 corners over a season, probably on average.
And my brother said that United went 2 seasons out. I think it was my other cousin actually said that United went 2 seasons without scoring a header, without scoring from a corner until this season when they done it. It's nuts. Like, you forget how everyone gets excited when it's a corner. You're like, come on, yes!
Yeah.
But 3 times out of 100, actually, one of them's going to go in. Yeah, first man. It's never going to go in. But sorry, you were talking about Danny Welbeck. Go on, talk about singing his praises.
Fantastic header. I really think it was a fantastic header. He got up really well, and that's not something that we've been able to say really for Brighton players over the last, probably since Murray retired.
We literally have Lewis Dunk. That's kind of our only threat from corners at the moment, really, isn't it?
He's so strong in the air, which is funny for how he missed that chance at Leeds, which is probably why it was such a big chance, because you expected that ball to hit the back of the net. But Welbeck's just fantastic. I really like him, as I'm sure you know. I can't sing his praises highly enough. I feel like it's unfair on him that he had his reputation got tarnished at Arsenal, because when you watch him play, he is such a workhorse, and I think he's very skillful as well in what he does. He links up play really well. He starts a lot of counter attacks off. He seems to beat his man quite often, and he has a great first touch on him.
Yeah, the chance he created for himself yesterday, he was like playing he played a 1-2, so he gave it to Mark Cucurella. Cucurella first time to Gross, and then he made that run straight away through, which is the opportunity where he just put it wide.
Him and Maupay were back-heeling each other all the time. They're sort of just doing these little back flicks, and they worked every time. And this isn't something that we'd have been able to say at the beginning of the season between Maupay and Danny Welbeck. I hope that continues next season, because I see a lot of people as well questioning whether Maupay could be off in the summer. I saw someone saying that he's off to Marseille, but I don't know how true that is. I can't see that happening. Whether it's probably Will Troll.
I might be wrong. Aren't Nice and Marseille like super rivals, something like that? And he
might be
Nice.
Right.
I don't know.
Might be right.
Or maybe it's not Marseille.
Isn't he like a Nice fan as well or something?
Yeah. Well, that's where he started his career, didn't he?
Yeah.
He scored like 16 for them.
But
honestly, if Welbeck can carry on like he is, I don't see why we need to then go get another striker. But again, that's a big if he does continue this form. Because imagine if we have Undav, Maupay, and Welbeck as the three.
Next time we watch Brighton in the Premier League, we could well have Undav
we'll have that guy be flexing on us all the time, which would be class. Mate, it's what a shit house he'll be. So I can't wait for it.
He does look a bit of a menace, doesn't he? I'm liking it. Dennis the Menace.
Dennis the Menace. Oh, that's great. I love that.
There you go. That's the headline for when he scores his debut, isn't it? Dennis the Menace.
Yeah. So Welb signed the team, Gross signed the team, and they look like they will be signing the teams. And I'm absolutely buzzing with that, because a lot of the Brighton fan base you saw a lot of the people that kind of hated on Gross suddenly become sad that he was leaving, because they remembered what he can actually do.
It's ridiculous, isn't it? Because now they're all going to be back to saying how much they hate him.
Because now he's staying.
Oh, actually, can I? I don't want to sort of start anything here, but North Stand Chat messaged me yesterday. And,
I saw that.
I didn't understand. I didn't get their problem. Now I've got no problem with North Stand Chat. I don't really take much notice of them, to be honest. I don't really think anything of it. But all of a sudden, I was on a walk last night. I looked at my phone. North Stand Chat had having a go at me. I was like to Chloe, I was like, what's going on? I was like, why North Stand Chat piping up at me? Apparently they were unhappy about a tweet I put on saying that it was a failure towards the fact that we had a really rough run. Which at every point, if you quote any Brighton fan at that time, was saying similar. It was just because it was me. It was
a very dark moment for Brighton fans during that time.
Yeah, and I just thought this is a bit of a strange one. But
what did they reply? Did they just reply EH? Isn't it a question mark or something like that? Or?
No, they had a little pop. I stopped by it because I don't want to argue with people on Twitter anymore.
Yeah, I like what they do, but that was a strange thing to bring up, especially on the back of one of the greatest, achievements for Brighton in the Premier League.
We've just finished 9th, and they're more worried about arguing with me on Twitter. I just didn't quite understand that one. They went all the way back to February to find some old tweets, but here we are. Anyway, that's not the point.
Speaking on, I don't want to talk about this too much, just because it's a bit of a dodgy one. But obviously, the fan advisory boards.
If you don't know, dodgy ones out there.
If you don't know, myself and Jack, we didn't make it, unfortunately. We didn't get voted. We didn't get voted onto the board. The candidates were voted for by the Brighton fans. Apparently, no, I'm kidding. And yeah, it's just I'm only going to say this. It's going to be a really, really political way of me saying this. I'm very disappointed that there's no young fan representation on the board.
Yeah, I agree.
Jack was saying that. Sorry if I'm butchering your words, mate, but I think he said there's like no one under 40 on the board.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. Some people think it's rigged. I'm not going to say whether it is or it isn't. But yeah, it's just disappointing that there's no young people going to represent.
Let's put this out here, right? And I fully love the fact that the club try to be so diverse in everything they do. We support the LGBT community really well. Of course, we support the racism community, not the racist community. God, the racism community. God, that was a very different conversation.
Okay, this is why we're not part of the board. I've just realized.
This is why we're not part of the board. No, let me change that. No, they support the whole sort of racism very well. The whole taking a knee was really well done. The fireworks on the LGBT thing was really well done. Apparently they were very good with making the whole thing very diverse towards the fan advisory boards as well. They're making sure that, sort of doing all that sort of thing.
Represented by everyone, yeah.
Anyway, my point is, very good for all of those communities individually. But what about the younger community?
Yeah, Gen Z or millennials, that sort of thing.
Yeah, and I think ageism is a thing. You look at Sky Sports, who obviously got rid of all of their lot pretty much, just because they're too old to handle it, really. And I do believe that's the case. I think it was Clive Tilsey lost his job at ITV, wasn't it, or something, because he was too old. And I just don't think. Everyone caused a big fuss about that. It was, you can't be discriminative against them just because they're old, which I agree with. Clive Tilsey's still one of the best in the game at what he does. And I stand by what people were saying. I fully agree. But why is it when it's the young people, you're dumb? The younger you are, the less you know. That's not true. It really isn't true. I mean, Greta Thunberg's out there at like 18 years old, like standing politically against like everything environmental. Yeah. So whether you agree with her or not, she obviously knows a lot more about environment than I do. So the point is, the younger you are, the dumber you aren't. I'm just saying that. I don't understand the whole thing towards that, because I think, if anything, they should be giving the young people a chance, empowering them, giving them a platform, because the world's all social media these days. The young people understand that best, particularly the Gen Zs and sort of your mid-20s, even your late 20s, understand the social media world so well. Everything's pushing in that direction, and it's only going to get bigger. So to not put your stocks in early is really poor from the club, I think. I think it's really a shame.
Jack was going to be on this, but he wasn't working from home, so he couldn't do it on his lunch. Yeah. Unlike me, fortunately. But yeah, he made a really, really good point. I think he would like me to say this. And he was saying how so many young fans go home and away and spend hundreds of pounds, thousands of pounds a season, but they get ignored by the club a lot of the time. It seems. Obviously, we've got the new Brighton admins that are really great, and they are so engaging online.
Yeah, agreed.
Everyone absolutely loves it. That's a really, really
good
thing they've done. Yeah, great. And also,
I love the admins.
Probably it was a great idea from you to engage with us, because obviously you kind of had a big say in that. But when it comes to the actual running of the football club outside of social media, they seem to get ignored, and I don't think. Well, I'm not going to name names, but I don't think the club really take into consideration how much money some of these youngsters pump into it, which is why it's a massive.
My bank account right now is screaming at me for the amount of money I've spent on this club. Is why I'm not even joking.
Jack would have been the perfect candidate for it, and I'm just so surprised he didn't get enough votes out of all the people that love him.
He's done 200 odd games this season. Yeah. He's been to 50 Brighton odd games. That includes women and under 23s games. He's more of a fan than I'll ever be, right? But he's obviously not given the consideration. I've been to something like 27 games, 28 games this season. I've done 9 aways and every home apart from one. And, think how much money that costs someone like us who don't get paid as much as them. So, there's a big gap between that. And I just think that the fact that we do get so ignored is frustrating, particularly when we, in some circumstances, especially in social world, know more. I mean, I'm not saying we know more than them in the in the higher end of media and production levels.
Yeah, of course,
but if you're trying to engage with fans and get on the social side of things, your youngsters are the ones you want, aren't they?
There's a whole new era of fans, and yes, they might have been 10 years old when Brighton won the Championship, but still, nonetheless, they've been supporting them since they can remember, and since they can remember would be the Championship days. Just because they weren't at the Withdean or at the Goldson doesn't mean that they...
and that's another stupid argument, isn't it?
Or in Gillingham doesn't mean that they can't be represented on this board.
It's how old they are,
together
isn't it? You can't
BHA,
help
and
it.
shout out to those boys, absolute legends. We'll finish it on this because obviously we'll probably say some stuff that we probably shouldn't. But they said, just the other day, Seagulls Social posted the exhaustive list of content creators and almost all representing millennials or Gen Z. He says, you're telling me not a single one of those nominees got any votes? None of them. I just find it incredibly difficult to understand. And that is kind of...
And we've all got social platforms in our own rights. You know, we've all got numbers in our own rights. You know, Jack was he's a big face of Brighton home and away.
Yeah.
If you don't see Jack at away games, are you even at an away game?
Yeah.
So I don't understand it either. I think it's a travesty as far as I'm concerned, especially for you boys that both have platforms to not receive enough votes. I find.
And I thought that was the benefit. That's what I said to the club. I was like, that was one of my things. You had to fill in all these boxes. And I was like, because we run the Seagulls Social, I've great contacts, and I'm lucky to have a platform where I can engage with them and talk to them and ask them things that they want changing or that kind of thing. And that would have been really, really beneficial. Because otherwise, imagine I was going to say Dave from Mulscoom and making him up. Imagine he's a candidate on the board. How is he going to know what Mike King, shout out you on Twitter, how's he going to know what he wants? Because he doesn't go onto it. He doesn't speak to them all the time. So I don't know. How are they going to be heard? The younger fans won't be heard because no one on the board are really on it. I don't know. Well, maybe they are. And also, sorry, this might sound really bad, but I am so happy for the people that have been picked because it is an honour to be picked.
That's
to be
also
part of the club.
point.
So well done for also getting it. Shout out to you for getting it.
I think people were saying, people were upset that certain people didn't get in, so you're trying to sort of cancel others. I don't think that was, the case at all. Everyone's happy for each other. We're Brighton fans.
Yeah.
This is one thing I've really noticed, especially since yesterday. Weirdly, a lot of fans are using yesterday as a way to one up each other on who's the better fan. Oh, I'm a better fan than you because I went to more games, or I'm a better fan than you because I stuck by him when you didn't. And it's just like, for God's sake, we're all fans. We've had different opinions over the year. People's opinions changed. My mind's changed. I one day I didn't like Sanchez. Next day I do like Sanchez. One day I don't like, Webster. Next day you do like Webster. It's just different. And the guy next to me might not like Gross, then he likes Gross again. It's opinions. It's football. People change their opinions all the time. There's nothing wrong with having a different opinion. And I think yesterday was a bit like people were almost going through old tweets just for the sake of pointing out the fact that they didn't agree with you then, so they can't agree with you now. And it's a bit like, I'm a better fan than you because I went to that game and you didn't, and I went to the Goldstone and you didn't. And it's like, it doesn't matter. Plus, the whole Amex fan argument is ridiculous as well, because it's when people were born. What do you want us to do? Do you want us to be born before so we could have attended the Goldstone? It doesn't work that way. It's when we were alive. And if you were back then saying, "Oh, you're only a Goldstone fan. You weren't there in the 1800s." It's just, for God's sake, when does it end? So you can't have a go at the youngsters because of when they were born or because of who they've stuck by over the season or how many games they've attended. When it costs ridiculous to go to.
If anything, anyway. It's more expensive for these youngsters to follow Brighton than it was for the Goldstone era.
Yeah. You got to spend £6 on a pint and £5 on a pie and £30 on a ticket for £100 train. It's a lot of money to go to games. It's not just cheap, and you can't just go to games anymore. You've got to spend a decent amount of your wages to go. And
there's no way I hope people haven't interpreted this in the wrong way, but there's no way we're trying to set up a divide. We are, again, I'll say again, very happy for people that have been picked, and I really, really, really hope that it works out and the board is really beneficial for the club because. Yeah, it's got a lot of potential to be very beneficial for the club. So.
Yeah, I hope that it is that way, and I hope that it's not just a big PR stunt to be like, because that was my first inkling when it came out. I was like, it's just going to be a big PR stunt.
That's what a couple of my friends said to me as well.
The friends to be in there, and maybe it will be, and maybe they are just all friends of Barber and co. But I hope it's not, and I hope it is for the good because. The early signs are not promising, but I hope that they do.
It hasn't started off well.
Hope that they,
and I do feel bad for the people that have been picked because it's a really special moment for them, and it's been maybe online, maybe they haven't seen it, but it's been dampened because of what some people think, and obviously you can't stop people thinking what they think. But congrats to the people that got it. We'll leave it on that, and I don't know if we're going to talk about anything else really.
I think we should do an end of. I think we should do an end of the season thing when Maz is back.
Yeah,
or
Maz is
Jack's back. Depends on who's here because I understand Maz's schedule changes every 2 minutes. So if Maz isn't here, it'll be Jack. If Jack isn't here, it'll be Maz. So we'll do some awards, won't we?
Because Jesse Beard, I really hope I'm pronouncing your name right. He or she, because sorry, again, you could be a he or a she or whatever you want. I'd be called Jesse.
This is a really controversial
podcast. Really butchering this again. I'm hungover, please ignore me. But he said he or she said next pod, can we have an end of season awards, player of the season, goal of the season, performance of the season, save of the season, team performance of the season, surprise of the season.
Save of the season? My God, you think my memory's that good?
I'm just going to say Leeds. Every Sanchez save from Leeds. Although the Man United one. Yeah, we got to actually look back and do them properly. But so thank you for that suggestion. We will do that. We were thinking of doing that.
Yeah.
And we also another idea that I've got written down that someone said to us on Instagram. Sorry, I forgot who actually mentioned it. End season awards. They want us to do like a. Do you remember on Instagram last year during the summer? I done like a sell, keep, loan for all the players. They kind of want us to do that on a podcast, so maybe we can do that as well as the.
What did we do last summer? Did we cover the Euros? Didn't we?
Yeah, we ended up doing like a podcast every 2 weeks, so we'll end up doing that again.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I think we'll have a couple guests lined up as well. I know we keep saying it, but I think we've got a couple. I'm not going to.
Yeah, we've got a few. I think the ones that we were supposed to get in have been postponed to see if we can get a project running, which we can't say yet because I don't know how far it's going to go because it's such a pain in the bum to do. I've got to be honest with you. I'm
could
trying
be a really good summer. Hopefully,
I've got a meeting tomorrow at the Amex, so we're going to see how that goes. I can say that because that ain't a problem. But yeah, I'll keep you guys posted on the socials if it happens because I don't know. We'll see.
It'll be class. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Ryan, for joining me.
Of course, mate.
Yeah, just me and you. It seemed to work quite well. It's nice. We're like the Glenn Murray and Sam Bulldog of the podcast. So.
Thanks, because I'm the little man. I get it.
Oh yeah, that actually. Well, I didn't even clock that, but yeah, that's true. Thank you for everyone this season. What an absolute belter you've had. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. To everyone that's subscribed, to everyone that's written reviews on Spotify and Apple, if you have done, thank you so much. Ryan, how happy are you with this season? Just to sign off.
Mate, what a year. What a year. Ups and downs galore, but what a year. Because the ups have been so good. It was so good. The away days have been class. The first sort of year of everyone being back socialising after COVID and everything. It's the first time the Hyper Turk has its memories. Days out in London were unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. We had a rough run, but it's outshadowed by the Neil Maupay 98th against Southampton and the times out in Arsenal and the times out at Palace, and there's just too many good days out to overshadow it. So yeah, what a season. Hopefully next season we have more dramatics because I love it. I think even if you draw the game, Palace fans said to us, you're the draw specialist and you can't celebrate draws. But mate, if we can draw like that next season again, then you get your money's worth. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and getting more bruises. Very well said. Sure. Thank you so much for the memories. Like and subscribe, and we'll catch you in a bit. Peace.